Darkest Hour is directed by Joe Wright, and it's the story of how Winston Churchill was brought in to be the Prime Minister of Great Britain in the height of World War II in 1940, and the film chronicles like the first week or 2 weeks of him being Prime Minister and making all these tough decisions about what to do with certain aspects of the war and how basically they're going to lead the fight against Germany and eventually win the war for Great Britain. This film kind of follows a trend that I've noticed in recent biopics about historical figures, because Selma did this as well, where it's a film about a historical figure but it's about a certain portion of the historical figure's life, and it's not showing the entire life of the historical figure, just this one moment where they do something that was really important to their overall cause and their overall mission. And in this film it's actually about how Churchill made the decision to evacuate the soldiers from Dunkirk. So it could potentially be a good companion piece to Dunkirk. It has all the exposition that wasn't in Dunkirk. And although I did like how the film only concentrated on that one short period of Churchill being Prime Minister, there was a part of me that kind of wished they showed a little bit more. Because at the end of this film it has the on-screen text like how every biopic does, where it says this happened to these people after the events of this film, and at the end of this film it says how Churchill eventually led Britain to victory, and there was just a part of me that would have liked to have seen that. So if you're going into Darkest Hour looking for a comprehensive look at how Churchill led Great Britain to victory, like a comprehensive full look at it, you might be a little disappointed, because the film concentrates on those early moments of Churchill's tenure as Prime Minister and how he put his foot down, made the decisions, and essentially started his whole campaign that would eventually lead Great Britain to victory. It's not a massive complaint or anything like that, it didn't ruin the film for me, but it's just something worth addressing. The actual film Darkest Hour itself is a pretty solid historical drama. Gary Oldman, the awards talk has been blown up with this guy saying he's the front runner for lead actor. And yeah, he's probably going to win because he was amazing. He became Winston Churchill. I did not see Gary Oldman. I saw Winston Churchill. You felt Churchill's passion to lead his country to victory, but you also felt his vulnerability, because at times he was like, I don't know what to do here. Do we do peace talks? Do we fight until the end? I don't know what to do. And as you saw in the trailer, he does have a couple of those big speeches that were just awesome. They were the best parts of the film, I thought. When Churchill just gives these really impassionate speeches, I was just like, yes. You're awesome, Gary Oldman. By the way, on a quick side note, am I the only one who thought that Gary Oldman put on all that weight to become Churchill? For the longest time, I saw the trailers and I saw the pictures and I thought he was doing the full Christian Bale and becoming Winston Churchill. But it wasn't until recently I actually read that it was makeup in a fat suit, and I was just like, oh, okay, taking the easy way, I see. I mean, the makeup and stuff is awesome. That's probably going to win the Oscar for best makeup and stuff, but I thought he was doing the Christian Bale for the longest time. One of the things about Darkest Hour though is that it wasn't consistently engaging for me, because there were times where I was really into it with all the dialogue scenes and the big powerful speeches, but then there were other times where it kind of slowed down and I was like, okay, I'm not really as interested, I'm starting to get a little bit bored, and then it picked back up with another big scene. My favourite parts of the film were the war scene rooms where, you know, Churchill is debating with his war cabinet about what decisions to make and what to do. Should we do peace talk? Should we fight to the end? What do we do about the Dunkirk stuff? It was really interesting being like a fly on the wall in those scenes and just hearing them debate about what to do. But yeah, the film was a little bit up and down for me in terms of engagement. I was really into it at times, there were times where I really wasn't, and then I was into it, then I wasn't. It never dips down into super boredom, but it was still a little bit of a roller coaster at times. In the end, Darkest Hour is a pretty solid historical drama that is extremely well acted by Gary Oldman, and it's well acted by everybody else. I mean, Ben Mendelsohn and Lily James, they were good as well. And it was a good portrayal of the early stages of Winston Churchill's role as Prime Minister and the decision making that was involved in eventually leading the country to victory in World War II. It was a bit of a roller coaster ride, like I said, of engagement, but in the end I still walked out of Darkest Hour having liked it overall, so I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. So tell me in the comments below what you thought of Darkest Hour, and if you want to see more of my stuff, click on one of these, and I'll see you all in the next video.